The First World War, often remembered as a European conflict, saw the global British Empire drawn into a maelstrom of unprecedented scale. This war, which began in 1914 and lasted until 1918, involved nations from across the world, making it a truly global conflict. The British Empire, with its vast colonies and dominions, mobilized resources and manpower from every corner of its realm. Among the empire's many contributions, the Indian Army's role stands out as a testament to the commitment and sacrifice of millions of soldiers from the Indian subcontinent. These soldiers, hailing from diverse regions and backgrounds, came together under a common cause, demonstrating unity and strength. Over 1.3 million Indian soldiers served in the conflict, fighting in diverse and challenging theatres of war far from their homeland. They were deployed to various fronts, including Europe, Africa and the Middle East, showcasing their versatility and adaptability in different combat situations. From the trenches of the Western Front to the deserts of Mesopotamia, Indian troops played a crucial role in upholding the British war effort. Their presence was felt in key battles and campaigns, where their bravery and determination often turned the tide in favour of the Allies. They fought with courage and resilience, enduring hardships and displaying valour that earned them the respect of both allies and enemies. Their contributions were not just limited to the battlefield, they also provided essential support roles such as medical services and logistics, which were vital for the war effort. Their story is one of immense sacrifice, with over 74,000 Indian soldiers making the ultimate sacrifice on distant battlefields. These soldiers left behind families and communities who also bore the brunt of the war's impact, facing loss and hardship. This essay aims to shed light on the often overlooked contributions of the Indian Army during World War I. By examining their experiences and the challenges they faced, we can gain a deeper understanding of their significant role in the war. It will explore the deployment of Indian troops across various fronts, the challenges they faced, and the pivotal role they played in shaping the outcome of the war. Their resilience in the face of adversity and their unwavering commitment to their duty are stories that deserve to be remembered and honoured. Their story is an integral part of understanding the global impact of World War I and the sacrifices made by those who fought in it. The legacy of these soldiers continues to inspire and remind us of the profound cost of war and the enduring spirit of those who serve. At the outbreak of World War I, the Indian Army, under the British Raj, was primarily structured for internal security and frontier defence. Its primary role was to maintain order within the vast and diverse territories of India and to guard the frontiers against external threats. The army was not initially designed or equipped to participate in large-scale global conflicts. Lord Kitchener, the British Secretary of State for War, recognised the need for a rapid expansion and modernisation of the Indian Army to meet the demands of a global conflict. He understood that the existing structure and capabilities of the Indian Army were insufficient for the scale of warfare that was unfolding in Europe and beyond. Kitchener, who had served as Commander-in-Chief India, understood the potential of the Indian Army and initiated reforms that would transform it into a formidable fighting force. His experience in India had given him a unique insight into the strengths and weaknesses of the Indian military, and he was determined to harness its full potential. Kitchener's reforms focused on expanding the size of the army, improving training and equipment, and creating new logistical systems to support large-scale deployments overseas. This involved not only increasing the number of soldiers, but also ensuring they were well-trained and well-equipped to face the challenges of modern warfare. The existing regiments were reinforced with fresh recruits and new units were raised, drawing men from all corners of the subcontinent. This recruitment drive was unprecedented in scale and brought together men from diverse backgrounds, united by a common purpose. Training was standardized and intensified, focusing on modern warfare techniques and the use of new weaponry. Soldiers were trained in trench warfare, the use of machine guns, and other new technologies that were becoming crucial on the battlefields of World War I. This rapid mobilization and modernization were not without their challenges. The logistical demands of equipping and transporting such a large force were immense, and there were significant hurdles to overcome in terms of supply chains and infrastructure. The diverse linguistic and cultural backgrounds of the Indian soldiers required innovative approaches to training and unit cohesion. Commanders had to find ways to bridge language barriers and foster a sense of unity and camaraderie among troops from different regions and communities. However, the Indian Army rose to the occasion, demonstrating a remarkable ability to adapt and learn, ultimately proving itself a capable and resilient force on the battlefields of World War I. Their contributions were significant and played a crucial role in the overall war effort, earning them respect and recognition on the global stage. The Western Front, with its brutal trench warfare and unprecedented casualties, became a defining theatre of World War I. The landscape was a nightmarish expanse of mud, barbed wire and shattered trees, where soldiers lived and fought in appalling conditions. The constant threat of death and injury loomed over every trench, making survival a daily struggle. The Indian Army, thrust into this unfamiliar and unforgiving environment, faced its baptism by fire alongside British and Commonwealth troops. These soldiers, hailing from diverse regions of India, were now united in a common cause, fighting in a land far from home. Their journey to the Western Front marked a significant chapter in the history of the Indian Army. Arriving in late 1914, the Indian Corps, comprising divisions from the pre-war Indian Army, immediately found themselves engaged in heavy fighting. The sight of Indian soldiers disembarking in France was a testament to the global nature of the conflict, as men from across the British Empire converged on the battlefields of Europe. The initial battles in which Indian troops participated, such as the Battle of La Bassée and the First Battle of Ypres, proved to be a harsh introduction to the realities of modern warfare. These engagements were characterized by intense combat, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Indian soldiers, though inexperienced in this type of warfare, quickly learned the brutal lessons of the Western Front. The Indian soldiers, accustomed to open warfare in different terrains, had to adapt quickly to the static, trench-bound fighting of the Western Front. The transition was challenging as they had to contend with the claustrophobic conditions of the trenches, the omnipresent mud, and the constant threat of enemy fire. Yet, they adapted with remarkable resilience. They faced relentless artillery bombardments, machine gun fire, and the ever-present threat of poison gas attacks. The use of poison gas, a new and terrifying weapon, added a horrific dimension to the already brutal conflict. The Indian soldiers had to learn to use gas masks and take cover quickly, adding to the myriad challenges they faced daily. Despite these challenges, the Indian soldiers displayed remarkable courage and tenacity. Their bravery in the face of overwhelming odds earned them a reputation for steadfastness and valor. Stories of their heroism spread, inspiring their comrades and earning the respect of their British counterparts. They fought with distinction in numerous engagements, including the Battle of Neuve-Chapelle and the Battle of Loos, earning the respect of their British counterparts for their steadfastness under fire. These battles were crucial in the broader context of the war, and the contributions of the Indian soldiers were invaluable. Their actions in these battles demonstrated their skill and determination. The winter of 1914 to 1915 proved particularly harsh, with the Indian troops enduring freezing temperatures and appalling conditions in the trenches. The cold was a new and brutal enemy, as many of these soldiers had never experienced such severe weather. Despite the freezing conditions, they continued to hold their positions, showcasing their resilience and dedication to the cause. Section 4. A sideshow that became a campaign, Gallipoli, 1915. While the Western Front raged, the British Empire embarked on a campaign designed to knock the Ottoman Empire out of the war, the Gallipoli campaign. Amongst the forces deployed to this new front were several divisions of the Indian Army, including infantry and cavalry units. The Gallipoli Peninsula, with its rugged terrain and heavily fortified Turkish positions, presented a daunting challenge. The Indian troops, landing alongside British, Australian and New Zealand forces, faced fierce resistance from the Ottoman defenders. The Gallipoli campaign devolved into a bloody stalemate, with both sides entrenched in a bitter battle of attrition. The Indian soldiers fought with courage and determination in difficult conditions, participating in key battles such as the Battle of Saribaya and the Battle of Hill 60. Despite their bravery, the Gallipoli campaign ended in costly failure for the Allied forces. The Indian troops, having endured heavy casualties and extreme hardships, were evacuated alongside other Allied forces in December 1915. While the Gallipoli campaign is often remembered as a costly defeat, the courage and sacrifice of the Indian soldiers who fought there should not be forgotten. Section 5, holding the line in Egypt, defending the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal, a vital artery connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean, held immense strategic importance for the British Empire during World War I. Recognizing the threat posed by the Ottoman Empire, the British deployed a significant force to Egypt to defend the canal. The Indian Army played a crucial role in this defense, with multiple divisions stationed in Egypt throughout the war. The Indian troops in Egypt faced a challenging environment, contending with extreme heat, desert conditions, and the constant threat of Ottoman attacks. They participated in numerous engagements, repelling Ottoman attempts to capture the Suez Canal and securing British control over this vital waterway. Their presence in Egypt not only safeguarded the canal, but also freed up British and Commonwealth troops for deployment on other fronts. The Indian soldiers' contributions in Egypt, while often overshadowed by the more well-known campaigns of the war, were crucial to maintaining British imperial communications and supply lines. Their steadfast defence of the Suez Canal prevented a potential Ottoman breakthrough that could have had far-reaching consequences for the Allied war effort.